Hi, everyone. First, I want to take the time to thank Derek for putting together what is a really well-timed event given what's going on in the world. And secondly, I want to thank everyone here for taking the time to log on and listen to me deliver a talk, which I'm hoping you will all enjoy. So now at this point, I'm going to shrink into the bottom corner here and walk you through the presentation. So the title of my talk is Unlock Unrealized Revenue and Boost AOV by Showing the Right Products at the Right Time. In order to do that, we're going to look through retail store psychology, really high-performing websites, and also actionable ways you can do this across your customer journey and touch points on your website. So there are three really main pieces of this presentation that I'm going to go through. To start, I'd like to say that whenever I'm giving a presentation, I hope that I present something that you haven't heard before, which then sparks novel ideas so you can come away and think more differently about how you're approaching your e-commerce strategy. Secondly, I want to deliver actionable insights. So hopefully after this, you can jump into the resources and actually implement these even today to help drive AOV. So more specifically, as I alluded to earlier, we're going to go through some retail psychology and think through how store layouts in the real world and physical world can translate to your online store. We're going to go through how the world's most persuasive website delivers the right products at the right time during your purchasing path. And thirdly, how you can implement some of these strategies across your website to increase that average order value. So the overarching theory here that ties the thread between all three of those concepts is that to effectively increase your average order value, you need to also increase the customer experience. These two things need to be positively correlated. The higher the amount of money that I'm spending, the better experience I should be delivered when I physically get the product, and also during the online experience, being educated that the combination or the multiple SKUs or the higher end version of the product that I'm purchasing is going to deliver a better experience and has that value associated with it. Why do I feel the need to talk about this? I am a Shopify Plus agency founder and the founder of Order Bump, a Shopify Plus checkout upsell tool. I have nearly a decade of experience in e-commerce, and I was on the brand side before I was on the agency side, helping to grow a brand in 2012 using the platform of choice back then, which was Volusion. So have some experience growing my own e-commerce store as well. And I'm really excited to talk a bit more with you all about how we can increase average order value across the board. Oh, and certainly please do connect with me on Twitter. I love to talk e-commerce strategy. I love to connect with merchants, other agencies, technology partners, and discuss all of these things. So give me a follow right here if you're interested and you're in the Twitterverse. All right, so a little bit more about some background. So the Van Group is the agency that I founded. We've been around for about 7 years now. We work with clients large and small. So our Shopify brands that are either scaling and growing, maybe they're in the 7-8 figures now. And then we also have the opportunity to have worked with really large legacy retailers. And that's really where we've learned a lot about what makes people purchase products online through usability testing and large-scale research studies, because these types of brands like Tiffany & Co. and Ann Taylor have the budgets to actually execute the tests that really drive those insights. So hopefully you'll be learning from some of the big players today. So retail psychology and how to leverage it for your online store. I want you to think a little bit about what it's like when you go into a retail store and and think through the path through which you take to get to the checkout line. And in the next couple of slides, I'm going to be talking about all the thinking that has gone into that path. I think many times when e-commerce merchants are approaching their store, they hear a lot about data, reduce the amount of clicks, and sort of really UX driven, data driven strategies that of course are extremely important, but also are optimizing for that first visit, that ad lead to product page to checkout journey. And there's a lot of opportunity to educate the customer so that they come back, to message around your product line, and really also design for the invariably the 85 to 90% of people who are going on your store for that first time. And even if that number is in the 60s or 50%, making sure that you're delivering them value as well, so they can keep coming back for more. So the first law, and really what I'm going to do here is I'm going to talk about a retail rule that's been sort of well understood in retail store layout design, and then how we can actually use that on our e-commerce storefronts. So the first retail rule is slow them down. You never walk into a retail store and see a straight line from the entrance to the checkout. There's a lot of thinking behind that. And so one of the ways that they do this is they make you wind through different parts of the store to make sure that they're showing you their entire product line, making sure that they're being able to educate you about your about the products that are going to either make your experience better or different products that you hadn't considered before. And one of the big ways they do this actually is using bumps. And these bumps are actual places in the middle of real pathways in stores that are designed to get you to stop, look, experience something different, message something different, and really just expand your vision into what the actual product lines that they offer are. And it's really a good time to actually take that tactic and put it on your website as well. Most of the time, people think of their accessories and their complementary products as afterthoughts. On e-commerce design, they're buried. They're really not what they're trying to sell, right? That's not what the ad creative is selling. That's not what their marketing is looking to push. Yet it's very important that you at least showcase those and you give them some credence, because they're the ways that you're going to be able to drive the average order value. And if you haven't educated people at least a little bit about what those are, it'll be really tough to convince them that it's going to make their general experience better with your products. Second is newness. Walk in front of any retail store, walk down Fifth Avenue in New York City, walk down the Champs-Élysées in France, and you're going to see in the windows the newest and greatest products. This is sort of 101, but the real point of this is that you can use this to cross-sell and also sell your additional products. It's a way to attract people back to your store. Using new products as hooks for bundles, as hooks for kits, as hooks for buy one get one deals is a really fantastic way to increase your average order value. And it also just naturally preys on a tendency in humans, which is to be attracted to newness. Lastly, and this is the one that I'll be focusing on the most throughout the latter part of this presentation, is the checkout line. In the retail world, the cash wrap, as it's called, is considered one of the most important points in the customer journey. First, of course, at this point, customers are committed. They've shown the highest intent to purchase. And so this is the best time to offer them complimentary and or impulse products. There's a reason why socks at the sneaker store are at the end, are right at the checkout line. There's a reason why the sneaker cleaners at the end of the checkout line. There's a reason why the magazines, the candy, the impulse buying products are at the checkout line in grocery stores. And in doing that, you're really looking to offer the lower priced, low decision capacity products that are both going to enhance the customer experience and or simply make the customer happier in the moment. Obviously, if you're buying, I don't know, a jacket at Home Good at Marshall's, and you're on the way out and you see the artisan popcorn that they have, it's not necessarily going to enhance your jacket experience, but it's certainly going to make you happier with your overall Marshall's experience. So we're going to dive into how to do that on your cart and checkout pages. But this is something to really consider, and one of the main points of the talk that I'm hoping you can come away with after this. So now let's talk about how this can be translated to the digital world through the lens of one of the most popular travel websites, Expedia.com, which does, frankly, they have a masterclass in the checkout process and how to offer bundles, cross-sells, and upsells on the way towards maximizing each transaction for them. So first, let's start with the homepage of Expedia.com. You'll notice that there are 3 places. They highly prioritize bundles, right? Bundles and save. It's something that you're going to be beaten over the head with throughout the customer journey. Again, this doesn't work for every single brand, but there's certainly smart ways, strategic ways to make sure that people are well aware that they can save and they can get a better experience if they bundle products together. So on this homepage, you'll notice that it's in the navigation, bundle and save is available. In the main search area, the most interacted with component on the Expedia website, you'll see that bundle and save is a true option. And then thirdly, even if you don't search through the bundle option, you're still offered a couple of calls to action to add a hotel or add a car to your initial search, in this case, if you have flights selected. Takeaway here is they're not shy about letting you know that you should be purchasing these things as a group. So what happens when you've searched for the flight and you've added it, to your cart? You are offered the complimentary hotel. This interstitial pop-up is right before you get to the actual cart summary page. They do a really good job here of showing that you're getting this because because of the flight that you've chosen. They deliver the actual percentage value that you'll get, and they still give you a clear path towards your cart summary page. Cart interstitials are pretty popular. There are lots of apps on the App Store that do this. There are also plenty of dev shops that are capable of creating this experience as well. And if done correctly, can be a really powerful way to again increase the units per transaction and or average order value. So let's say I've clicked no thanks maybe later, and I've landed to the cart summary page. In addition to at the top of this page, obviously summarizing the flight that I purchased, I am delivered even further opportunity to add additional products to this transaction. You'll notice here 3 different options now for cars to add to my trip. They do a great job of showing that the deal comes with your flight. They showcase below that the fact that you don't lose this deal even if you don't choose it now. This is a very interesting tactic, which really just warms me to the idea that later, if I really do change my mind and I want to add a car, that I could still get the value from this. And then lastly, they do a really nice conversion tactic here. I wouldn't call this an average order value strategy, but it is a great conversion rate optimization strategy, which is to just increase trust by showcasing that you can cancel this if you're unhappy or things change within 24 hours of booking. So again, really, aggressive and inline way of offering upsell and cross-sell products to your trip on Expedia.com. And lastly, the very last step of the checkout process on Expedia includes the kind of famous in e-commerce UX circles insurance step. Expedia travel websites in general, they pretty much all offer trip insurance. Trip insurance has been a boon for them. It's a really incredible moneymaker for these companies. And Expedia does an extremely compelling job of convincing me why this $20 is going to be well worth my time and the money. First, it uses color psychology. The negative opt-out is gray. The positive opt-out is green. The FOMO of letting people know that over 1 million travelers do this per year makes me think that I'm not the only crazy one for wanting to opt into insurance. They also have a negative opt-out copy by showcasing that essentially would be risking the $280 that I spent on this trip if I weren't doing this. It's a little bit of a dark tactic. Don't necessarily love that from kind of an ethical or moral standpoint. But I cannot deny that it's a really compelling way to sell insurance. And I can say this as a user, I've bought the insurance, I'd say probably 80% of the time, and I've never used it. And I know that, yet I still find myself coming back for more. So as you can see in summary, there are really every step of the journey from the add to cart through to the checkout. Expedia.com delivers upsell and cross-sell opportunities, and this has been shown to drastically increase their average order value. Okay, but you're not Expedia.com. You don't sell travel. You sell physical products. And so now we're going to start diving into how you can make the top of funnel part of your website, and I'm calling that the homepage, the product listing page or collection page in Shopify terms, and the product detail page more friendly towards bundling kits, average order value increases, and then I'll get into how you can actually do this more effectively on your store during the cart and checkout process as well. So first, let's start with the homepage. You'll notice that on the next coming slides, there's going to be a label that has customer journey and then a descriptor of where they are in the process. I'm a big believer that it's really important to remember that statistically speaking, when the people that are landing on your homepage are first time, second time customers that are there to discover more about your brand. And so it's very important to utilize this to message around the bundling or sets or kits that are available to them. And this is obviously across verticals. And on the right, you'll see the mobile homepage snapshot for one of our clients, Kindred Bravely, which does a really nice job of messaging some of the options that people have for bundles or for just better, higher value customer experiences. You'll notice in the announcement bar, they're offering a gift, which is that if you buy the Simply Sublime tank, you're going to get a free wrap. This doesn't directly increase average order value. Obviously, they're giving away something free. However, it could increase the conversion rate because that free wrap is something that they've calculated works well for shipping purposes. But overall, it just delivers the fact that there are opportunities to get products together. Secondly, in the hero, loud and clear, it's save on pumping essentials and 2 distinct calls to action. The pumping deal, so let's learn about what those essentials are, and then bundles. So I'm already educated to the fact that there are products that have been grouped together. and that they are essentials, and both of which lead me to want to learn more about what these opportunities are. Generally, I think what they do awesome, really well here is delivering clear paths to discover these offers and these deals. A lot of times, this type of real estate isn't used to do this type of education, and I think it's really well done in this case. So the product listing page or the collection page. This is another place again to focus on messaging the fact that you offer these products that come together and that the experience could be better. In many cases, if the product is something that does require a lot of education, a kit just does make the most sense. Or if it's a CPG product and there are multiple different flavors and people can't try them out, it's important that you give the right real estate to these things. One of our clients here, Lolly Beauty, does this really well. They have a singular shop all page. Bundles are well messaged, and they are clearly indicated and available. There's even a nice little badge that showcases that you save with the bundle, and they do a good job of offering it as the welcome kit. And as you can see, it's sold out. So something must be working in terms of driving them to this option. Secondly, another merchant of ours, Ballsy Brand, does a smart merchandising job. This is very simple, not a lot to ask, but they prioritize their bundle and their kit as the first product that you see. So it's upper left here on desktop. On mobile, it will be the first and only product that you see when you get to the shop all page. This ensures that everyone who comes through their collection page is aware that the kit is available and is an option. So make sure that you're using your content slots effectively. Make sure that you're prioritizing kits to focus on value. Utilize labels when you can, and try as much as you can clearly indicate the value of the bundle experience. One small pro tip, and I just bring this up because I saw this a bunch while I was doing some research for this. The quick shop and quick view. There's a lot of discussion, at least internally at our agency, about when and when not to implement this. And by quick view, I mean when you're on a collection page and they give you the opportunity to either add the product directly to cart or open up a modal window, show you some truncated information, let you add to cart there. There's a lot of research that says that people are kind of thrown off by that experience. At this point in time, people are well sort of educated and used to the idea of going from a collection page to a product detail page where they're able to ascertain much more information about the product that they're looking at purchasing, which is critical to them actually completing that purchase. So, and if it's not clear that they can get to that page, it's oftentimes the case that the quick view or the quick shop, albeit there to decrease the number of clicks that you get to checkout, can actually hurt your overall conversion rate. So just something to consider when you're designing your web store. All right. So to the product detail page, at this point in the customer journey, they're learning a bit more. They found something that they're interested in. They want to understand some of the nitty gritty details. If it's an apparel brand, it's about fit. If it's a CPG brand, it's about ingredients. If it's a beauty brand, it's also about the ingredients and what it's made of, color, sort of things like that. But it's also an awesome place to start to highlight cross-sell and upsell opportunities. There are tons of apps in the App Store that offer this ability to do it on the product detail page. I think it's really important to do this the right way. You don't want to distract people from the products that they're on. but you also want to make sure that they're aware that there's a breadth of products that they can actually look through and also combine to make a better experience, whether it's savings and also in the case of apparel, look better. We worked with Ann Taylor, and this is actually about 4 or 5 years ago now, to really redesign their entire website from a UX perspective. And the big thing there was, okay, how can we increase average order value? And among one of the changes that we implemented was this concept of wear it with, and which is really outfitting. This isn't necessarily something brand new, but it is something that needs to be done correctly. The wear it with was a huge success and part and parcel of how we helped Ann Taylor raise their average order value from 138 to 185 after implementing this. You want to make sure that obviously the goal of a wear it with in an apparel context is to include the products that are shown on the models as the products that are there that are available to bundle together. Couple of things to note there. This takes manual work. You can try and rely on some tagging and some kind of related with algorithms to do so. Our recommendation is to take the time to do this right, just because of how powerful it is. People like, particularly if it's apparel, people like outfits, and it's a really good opportunity to take advantage of that. Number two, make sure that you're thinking through the types of products that you're offering on the PDP as upsells, and make sure that if they require high amount of decision making capacity, so whether that be size and fit is a concern, ingredients could be a concern, color could be a concern. Make sure that you're not just offering the add to cart option. I see a lot of apps that do that, where it's just add this bundle to your cart, when in actuality, I don't even know enough about the other products to know if I even want to add that to cart. I need to learn a lot more about them, particularly if it's apparel that requires fit. And so it's important that instead of using that call to action for add to cart, you deliver them just links to the actual products themselves. Hopefully you're opening a new tab, so you're doing the right thing there. But at least give the person the opportunity to learn a bit more about what the product is and if it's the right move for them. And there are tons of opportunities to do this, not just in apparel. Here we have one of our clients, paw.com. They sell really beautiful dog beds. They have awesome dog product lines in general. They launched an awesome blanket product that really is part of the home set. And so they message on the main area of their announcement bar that you can bundle and save any blanket combo. And then when you're on the product detail page, there's a subtle but above the fold clear indication that you can pair any bed with any blanket and save money. This is already starting to educate the customer about what's to come, and it's a great way to start to prime people for the upsells coming later down the road. All right, so you've made it past, you've gotten your customer to the product detail page, they've added their product to cart, and now we're at the sort of high intent to purchase steps, the steps where we really want to convert and close the person, but we also want to take advantage of the opportunity to increase average order value. So let's start with the cart page. Carts that help increase AOV do a couple of things, generally speaking. Shipping is always a concern. If you have free shipping across your website, make sure you message that. That's kind of 101. If you do have shipping, if you do have to charge shipping, try and find a way to incentivize a free shipping tier. Paw.com does this with a interactive bar that if you're, let's say, below the shipping threshold, will indicate that you're $10, $15, $20 away from receiving free shipping, kind of gamifying the free shipping bar experience. There are a ton of apps that do this. This one is natively built. It also has some fun copy, so free shipping unlocked, kind of gamifying the experience, making you really feel like you're gaining value. And then if we remember from the previous slide, we were messaging the fact that you can save on your bed if you include a blanket. And as you can see here, we have the blanket available to add to the cart right here. It's a clear modal section that delivers the fact that you can make it a set and save. It's been matched to make sure that it only has one variant, because variant selection at this step is a really difficult one to force people to do. And it messages why they should add this. It's not just about showing the product with the product title and the price. It's about really selling the product at this step. Make your house the ultimate doghouse. This is the equivalent to me of a bump in the store layout metaphor that I was laying out earlier. And it's a really great way to do it. And frankly, carts are an awesome place to deliver this type of value. Ballsy again does another really good job of this. As soon as you add the product to the cart, you're brought to this interstitial that delivers a bundle and save. I would critique this implementation because I'm not really sold on why I should be adding the ball guard powder or the handy to my cart. You can argue that obviously some of these are a bit self-explanatory given the product line, but I'd like to see a little bit more description of why they should do this. Nonetheless, they are clearly indicating that you're getting a discount. And just the general UX of this is really strong. And when I was going through the process, it made me think twice about adding the product to the cart. Okay, so we've made it through the cart page, and now we're at the sort of that final, that holy grail step, the step that you've been spending all of your marketing dollars and your brand dollars on. That's the checkout. Checkout is obviously a very sacred step, and if you're on Shopify, there's, depending on if you're on Shopify Plus or the native Shopify, there's not a lot you can do here. However, it's the highest intent to purchase, and as we saw from Expedia and their insurance option and their car rental option, it's a really powerful way to drive AOV. And so now I kind of get to jump into the 1 minute pitch part, which is about Order Bump, and which delivers the ability to offer irresistible upsells right in the checkout through an inline widget. So the key at checkout is to make sure that you're choosing products that have extremely low decision capacity. And are designed to sweeten the order. They're the impulse buys. They're the products that are that people already natively understand. So, a shampoo bar for your dog, like I don't need to know much more about that except the price. And obviously there's some messaging that goes on here. And so again, checkout is a really great place to actually do this. And I'll talk a little bit more about the tool that lets you do it now. So the app that we've developed as an agency is called Order Bump. It's a simple app that delivers and allows you to offer a product in the actual checkout step of your Shopify Plus store. I need to kind of put a pin in that. It's as of today, it's only compatible with Shopify Plus because Shopify Plus gives merchants access to the checkout.liquid file, which is critical for this. So if you're on Shopify Plus, this is a great way to implement checkout upsells right to the native Shopify checkout. It doesn't require you to use any third parties. Here's a quick demo of how it works. So you go to checkout, the offer is loaded, you click add, product is immediately added, and you're left on the same step. Really very simple offering, and the results have been extremely powerful. So we've been up since January 1st. We've seen that across dozens of merchants at this point. Where average percentage of carts bumped is actually 9.8%. 0.74%, so almost 10% of orders for the average merchant are getting bumped. The average payback period has been less than 9 days, and we've had some really exciting standout client results within the first 30 days. Ballsy, at the beginning of the year, saw some really awesome results from the product, $38,000 in 30 days from the app, and then 14% of all orders bumped. And then Darn Good Yarn, also with really awesome results in those first 30 days. So far, we haven't had anyone not have ROI. The app is $99 a month, so typically people are getting return on that in 9 days or less. So with that said, we would love for you to check out Order Bump as a special offer for this summit and this webinar. We're offering a free 30-day trial. It comes with a 10-day trial, but if you email us hello@orderbump.io with the subject "The Future of E-commerce Marketing for 2020," let us know your store URL. We'll create a special link for you that gives you a 30-day free trial of Order Bump, and we're happy to help you install it. On that note, I really appreciate you taking the time to listen to this. I want to thank Derek again for putting this together, and I really hope that you found something in this talk insightful. And I really appreciate it. Take care, everyone.